Good morning. So in the previous class we have studied about the roots, right? So we are studying the different parts of the flower or the plant, right? So we are actually studying the different parts of the plant and their uh, functions, right? So in the first part we have studied the importance of the stem, right? Stem, leaves, roots, right? So three parts we have completed, right? So your leaves is used for preparing the food, right? So leaf part of the plant is used for the preparation of the food, whereas your root system or the roots of the plant is used for absorption of the nutrient material, water and minerals from the soil, and it is absorbed by the roots, and these water and minerals is transferred to the other parts of the plant through stem, right? So as you know, the plant, right, so it has the roots, yes. So all the water and minerals that is from the soil is going to absorb by the which part of the plant? By the roots. So root are going to absorb those nutrient or the minerals, water from the soil, and they are transferred through the stem. Okay, so your stem is going to transfer those water and minerals from the root to different parts. Okay, so and the leaf part of the plant is preparing the food, right? So in the yesterday's class we have seen that the stem is called, or the stem as a two-way traffic system or the two-way traffic street, right? So in the figure 7.18, so it is stem has a two-way traffic street, right? So in this part what you have seen, the root going to capture, or it is going to absorb all the water and minerals from the soil, and it is going to transfer through the stem. Your stem will transfer those water and minerals to different parts of the plant, where after sending those water and mineral to different parts, your leaf is going to prepare the food. Okay, so leaf is going to prepare the food, right? And that food is again transferring to different parts of the plant with the help of stem. Okay, so stem is going to carry all the things, and again it is supplying the food material to different parts of the plant, right? So that's why we call them as a two-way traffic street. Okay, one side is it is supplying the water minerals to other parts of the plant for the preparation of food by the leaf, and by after preparing the food it is again sending those food to different parts of the plant, right? So in the root system you have two types of root system. One is a tap root system, one is another is your fibrous root system, right? Tap root is a simple form of a root system, right? And fibrous root system is your a bunch of roots, right? So which are forming one after the other. In taproot we have the simple root system. In the fibrous we can see bunch of root system, right? So we have the two types of root system, and root helps in absorbing the nutrient materials from the soil, and it is sending to different parts of the plant through the stem, right? Then you have studied about the leaf and its different types of venation. We have reticulate and parallel venation, and it is the site for photosynthesis, or the leaves going to prepare food. Okay, the two terms you have studied, transpiration and transportation. Sorry, transpiration and photosynthesis. The transpiration is the removal of excess water from the plant body. Okay, so plant is going to remove excess of water from its body through the process of transpiration, whereas your photosynthesis is the process of making food by the green plants in the presence of sunlight, water, carbon dioxide. Okay, so preparation of food is taken place by the leaf. Okay, and whatever the material is required for preparing that food is sent by the roots. So he is going to observe the raw material, or the material which is needed for the preparing food is transferred by the root. Okay, observed by the root, then it is transferred by your stem. to the different parts of the plant, right? Then, so in today's class, we are going to study about the flower. Okay, so stem part we have studied, root part we have studied, and the leaves. Right, now moving to the next part of the plant, that is a flower part. Okay, so you are shown three branches of a rose in figure. Branches of a rose in figure 7.19, that is ABC. So can you see the image? That is a figure 7.19. So three figures they have given A, B, C. Right. So A, leafless branch. B, a branch with the leaves. C, a branch with the leaves and flowers. Right. So three types of branches they have kept, right? In first branch there is no leaves, right? In second there is leaves only. In the third we have leaves and the flowers, right? Will help you to will which one will help you to best to recognize the plant. So how can you recognize the plant? Based upon the flowers, leaves, right? So which type of a plant it is. So by seeing the leaves or by seeing the flower, we can recognize or identify which type of a plant it is, right? By seeing the single stem, that is your A, we cannot easily identify the plant or recognize the plant which it is actually, right? So all parts are very necessary to identify or to recognize the plant, right? When which color did you use for the flowers in figure? So which color did you use for the flowers in figure 7.19? C. Are all flowers colorful? Have you ever seen flowers on a grass, wheat, maize, mango or guava? Are those brightly colored? Let us study a few flowers. So what happens? So have you seen usually these plants name they have given, right? Your grasses, okay, grasses, wheat, then your maize, mango, guava. So the flowers of these plants are very small and they are not colorful or they are white in color usually, right? So they are not very attractive. So whenever we have the like when we talk about the flower, we have the feeling like the flower should be colorful, right? Attractive, right? But in case of these grass, wheat, maize, mango or guava, the flowers are there, but they are not very attractive, right? So they are very, we can say colorless or white in color and the flowers are small, right? So they are not actually attractive. We cannot say these are not beautiful flowers, right? But usually whenever we talk about the flower, we want those flowers to be beautiful, attractive, right? But in these cases, they are not very attractive or beautiful, or they are very small in size, right? When choosing flower to study, avoid using marigold, chrysanthemum, or sunflower. You will learn in higher classes that they are not a single flower but a group of flowers, right? What actually they are saying that your marigold. Have you seen the marigold? Okay, so it is composed or it is made from many small flowers. Okay, so that's why they have given in the box. When choosing the flowers to study, avoid using marigold, chris, uh, chrysanthemum, okay, or sunflower. Marigold, okay. So you may know the marigold, right? Chanduhu, right? Then chrysanthemum or sunflower. Sunflower, as you know, okay. Sunflower, marigold, as you commonly know which type of flowers they are, right? So chrysanthemum, okay. So that flower is your, Okay, this flower, whether it is, so have you seen this type of a flower? Okay, so this is a chrysanthemum. Okay, chrysanthemum or the sunflower. Okay, so what we called in Kannada Sevanti. Okay, so this chrysanthemum is your Sevanti flowers, right? And your marigold is somewhat like it is made from number of small flowers, right? So we have to avoid these flowers while studying. Okay, so we are going to choose apart from these flowers so that we can easily understand or study the different parts of the flower, right? As they are very small, you can see the very small petals, okay, or the flowers. So we are not going to use this flower for studying the different parts of the flower. So better we can use hibiscus flower or rose flowers, right, which are very colorful, okay, beautiful flowers we have, right? Hibiscus, you can see number of flowers we have, different colors are available. Hibiscus is your dasharu, right? Then we would require one bud and two fresh flowers each of any of the following: Datura, China rose, mustard, brinjal, ladyfinger, gulmohur. Also a blade, a glass slide or a sheet of a paper, a magnifying glass, water. Observe figure 7.20 carefully. Look at the prominent parts of the flower. So today in this class we are going to study about the different parts of the flower, right? So So what are the different parts we are going to see? These, look at the prominent parts of the open flower. Okay. So if it is your flower. Okay. Generally we draw the flower like this, right? So your hibiscus flower, or we call it as the, generally we call it as a dashar, right? So this is your flower, right? Okay, so these colorful structures we call them as a petals. Okay, so we call them as a petals, right? So prominent part of the flower, or we can say colorful, brighty apparent structures of the flower, right? So these are called petals. Different flowers have different flowers have petals of different colors, right? So if we taking the example of a rose, so rose variety we have, right? So different rose colors we have, it may be red, orange, yellow, right? So different colors we can see. Same thing in the hibiscus or the dashar flower, right? We can get the different colors of flower. Okay, so generally we have the red dashars. Okay, so you can see, so those color, so the color structures that we can see, those are called petals. So different flower have different color petals, right? Every flower has different color or they have their own colors, right? So where do you think the petals are in a close bud? Which is the prominent part of the bud? Did you see this part which is made like a small leaf-like structure? They are called sepals. Okay, so these colorful parts we are going to say they are the petals, right? And there is a greenish structure. Okay, it is a greenish structure. You can see, right? So this part which is holding the flower, colorful petal, that we call as a sepal. Okay, so this green region of the flower, this is called your sepal. Okay, so you can see, so these outgrowth, can you see this type of, so these are the sepals. Okay, these green extended elongated structure, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 sepals, okay, which are greeny in color. And can you count the number of petals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the colorful structures of the flower is your petals, and these are sepals, okay, and they are greenish in color, okay. So you can see the figure 7.20, right? You can able to differentiate between the petal and sepal, right? Petals, you can see the rose petals which are pink in color, and the greenish structures like this, okay? The arrow-like structures you can see. So those are the sepals. So leaf-like structures they are same. So they are greenish in structure, as you have the leaf structure like this, right? So they are the leafy-like structure, and we call them as a sepal. Take a flower and observe its petal and sepal. Okay. Now answer the following question. How many sepals does it have? Okay, now I have drawn the petal and sepal of the flower. So how many sepals you can count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has 6 sepals and petals is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has 5 petals, right? Are they joined together? What are the colors of petals and sepal? So generally what happens, your petals are very attractive and they are in different colors. But usually your sepals are always green in color, or the leaf-like structures you can see. So they are green in color, and this part usually green in color, whole part, and these we have the different colors based upon the different plants, right? Sorry. So what are the colors of petals and sepal? How many petals does the flowers have? Are they joined to one another or are they separate? Do the flowers with a joined sepal have petals that are separate, or they are also joined together? Now we are going to see how the petals and sepals are joined in different flowers or different plants. Okay, first of all we have studied what is petal and sepal. We are able to differentiate between petal and sepal, right? In different plants, how the arrangement of these petal and sepals we are going to see, right? Whether they are joined or not. Okay. So fill the table based on the observation of the whole class and observation to this table from a field trip to a locality where there are plants with the flowers. Fill the last two columns later. To see the inner parts of the flower clearly, you have to cut it open if its petals are joined. For example, in Dhatura or the bell-shaped flowers, the petals has to be cut lengthwise and spread out so that the inner parts can be seen clearly. Okay, so if I am taking the flower, have you seen this type of a flower? So generally we called it as a Sada Bahar. Okay, so I'm taking another example of the flower, right? It is the one type of, okay, so the flower, can you see? These are the petals, okay. So individual color structures, can you see? Okay, so these are the petals, okay. So as it has the yellow color, okay. Now you can also take the hibiscus or rose plant where it has the red color, or also it is present in different colors, right? So it is one flower which I have chosen. So these color structures we called as a petal. Can you count the petals in this? 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5. So this flower has 5 petals. Okay. This flower has the 5 petals. Right. So what happened in the, so there is no presence of greeny structure or the sepals at in this flower. So I can show this that flower in the next class. Okay, so as it is not available right now, so in tomorrow's class I am going to show you the different parts of the plant using hibiscus flower, right? So as now we have only available this flower, so through this you can understand these are the petal and your sepal will be at the bottom of this flower. Okay, as I have drawn this, right? So these are the upper part of the flower, that is petal, and the lower part consists of a sepal. Okay. Now what happens? So the example they have given about the dhatura, right? A flower that is a bell-shaped flower. So in this flower, you can remove the, okay, individual petals you can remove, right? You can see how I am removing the petals one by one. But in case of your dhatura or the bell-shaped flower, what happens? So you have bell-shaped flower like this, right? Or the dhatura plant, right? Okay, so dhatura or the figure as as they have shown, figure 7.21, that is a bell-shaped flower. In this part, can you able to remove the petals individually? Where in this rose plant or a hibiscus or the I am going to take the example of a rose plant, right? You can able to remove those petal, right, one by one. But in this plant, that is your bell-shaped plant or dhatura plant, whether you are going to remove individual part of the petal, no, right? So it is totally joined. You can see it is totally joined one, right? Like your bell. Okay, like your bell. Have you seen the bell, right? So it is totally joined. We cannot individually remove each and every petal or part of the plant. Okay, so individual part of the petal we are not able to remove. It is totally joined. Okay, but in this part we can pluck one petal. Okay, one by one we can remove each petals. But in dhatura or a bell-shaped plant, you can see it is joined or they have the joined petals, right? Same thing, the sepals also you can see the number of so number of sepals you can see individually. You can remove like your petals. In some plants, like the sepals also joined. Okay, sepals are also joined together like your petals. Okay, so petals sometimes are joined together like that. Your sepals is also joined together. We cannot able to remove them one by one. Okay, in this part we can able to remove the sepal. Okay, so this is all about your today's class where we are studying the different parts of the plant. So today we are just going to understand about the petal and sepal part. In next class we are going to study more or other than these two parts. We are going to study different parts of the plant. Okay, sorry, flower, that is about the stem and pistil, right? So what are stamen and pistil? Okay, anther, filaments. So those terms they have given in the parts of the flower, right? So today we are just going to understand the colorful, attractive part of the flower, that is called petals, and the greenish or the leafy structure of the plant we call as a sepal. Okay, so different plants have different condition or different structure of flower arrangement. Like in this bell-like structure of the flower where petals are joined together, right? We cannot able to separate individual petals like this plant, right? And same thing, even sepals are separated in one flower, it can be joined in another flower, right? Here they are joined together. But in this you can see the separation. Individual sepal you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 petals you can see, right? And this you can see the 6 sepals, right? But in this condition, you cannot differentiate how many petals are there or how many sepals are there as they are joined together, right? So this is all about your today's class. So once again, go through the topic, that is your flower part, okay? And next class we are going to study about the stem and petal, stem and pistil, anther, filament, okay, other parts of the plant with the hibiscus flower, okay? So we are going study with the demonstration of the flower, okay? So today I have just only one flower, that is not in, we can say it is not actually a big size to demonstrate, right? But you can understand, right? So these are the petals we can remove easily. Individual petals we can remove, but your bell-like flower, where they are joined together, we cannot separate those petals, right? So just today's class is all about your petals, sepal, what are petals and sepal, and how they are present in different flowers. In some flower it is joint form, in some flower it is in the individual arrangement. Okay, so petals are arranged one after the other in a circular manner. Right? So thank you.